Hi guys, it's Amy. Welcome to Strength Reversed. I am drinking coffee with no creamer in it. It's a bummer. I'm trying intermittent fasting where I only eat during certain hours of the day, and so I cannot have any creamer in my coffee until 11. It's bumming me out. So I don't know how much I'm going to post in the next 3 weeks or so because I am going back to school. I'm very apprehensive. I have a lot of mixed feelings. I'm worried about sending my son back, which I have to do. I imagine I'm going to be wearing disinfectant like cologne, just, dousing myself with it on the daily. But I am getting my back to school download, and while I'm feeling motivated and inspired in that lesson planning area, I just have to go with it. Anyway, today I am talking about the Three of Swords. And this is a VR to Natalia at Ouroboros, and her hashtag is #heartbreak. So she discussed the Three of Swords and how the Rider-Waite version, this is my Robin Wood deck, but the Rider-Waite version usually depicts a heart with 3 swords in it, and we might interpret that as heartbreak or betrayal. And she talked about how she prefers the Thoth, the portrayal of this card, that it goes beyond that, because it is the suit of swords, and so it's not really about emotions, it is about our thoughts and whatnot. And I can totally see that, but I think heartbreak, and I agree that this is a very surface definition, I think heartbreak can be a useful starting point as a definition for this card. But because it is in the suit of swords, yes, we can look at it a little bit deeper than just having your heart broken. Although I think that is a form of this. I think our emotions are tied a lot to our thoughts. If the suit of swords is, who described it as everything from the neck up? Was that Jean Fiorini or Nancy Antonucci? One of them described it as that. So this is also our perception, how we view the world, how we are interacting with the world. It's not just thoughts and communication. It's also how we perceive things. And we've probably all had the experience where we had something happened that changed our perception of someone, and because of that, our feelings about that person changed. Margaret Cho, the comedian, years ago, had this she had this stand-up that she did where she talked about liking this guy so much, like she just liked him so much until she saw him dance, and then she was like, yeah, I don't like you anymore. To me, the Three of Swords, it can be kind of like that. There's a change in a change that shatters perception. And to really understand most cards, I think you can look at the preceding card and also the following card. So I'm going to do that in a couple of different decks. And I'll start with the number 3. 3 is a sacred number beyond 2. So we have 2, which are dualities and the union of opposites, and through the union of opposites, something new is born, and that would be 3. Now, when something new is born, there's a shift in the dynamic, and things have to sort of rebalance again. And so one way we could describe this card is the pain and discomfort that we go through when there is a shift in the order. I almost think that the Three of Swords is a stepped down tower card sometimes. Something happens, what we thought is no longer, and we have to figure out how to regroup and keep going. It's like growing pains, right? You learn new things, your life is better for it, but in the meantime, it is a kind of heartbreak. The Two of Swords was my card of the day yesterday, and I've heard the Two of Swords being described. It can be a decision, or you made a decision and now you're sitting with it, but a lot of times it is in action. She's blindfolded, she's not really looking with her senses, she has her back turned to her power, her intuition, and it can be a stalemate. It can be that stuckness. It can be status quo, where you found a way to live with two conflicting thoughts, or maybe what is and what you want it to be. You found a way to sit with that. And then the Three comes along and just shatters that. This is one example, I guess I could give, is some people who avoid the doctor. They know something might be wrong. Maybe they're having symptoms, and they might avoid going to the doctor because once it is said out loud, then it's real, and then it's something you have to deal with, and you can't, it's like shattering denial. You just can't be in denial anymore, and now you have to recalibrate. The equilibrium was destroyed, and you have to find a way to get back to center, and that can be extremely, extremely painful. And then you have the Four of Swords that comes after that, where you have this period of rest, because the cards do this. Yes, the even and odd cards. We have active cards and then resting cards, and there's this active rest pattern. And the Four of Swords, you can see the swords haven't gone away. It's just a respite. So it's not a denial, it's just sitting with this new reality, or this new way of perceiving the world. The Three of Swords in the Light Seers deck is a little bit different. So we have this heart, and it has strings that are attached to other things, and what it's attached to, if we look at the Two, she's blindfolded, so she's not really looking clearly, and she has these birds, and there are a lot of cords and a lot of attachments to things. She might be led in different directions, but she's not really sure where she's going because she's not seeing totally clearly. And then we have this card, and you can see the absolute utter despair that this person is experiencing. And this heart is tied to something that is no longer there. That's why I think it's a mini tower card, because it's almost like a nervous breakdown, or some sort of breakdown, or rock bottom, when your perception is no longer valid, and you know that. And you can see her heart has been torn, and it is kind of sewn together, almost like it got stitches. And this is a painful thing. What you once thought, you know, it's like they say never meet your heroes because you're going to be disappointed, right? You have this perception in your head about what they're going to be like, and it's a little bit of a heartbreak to have that perception shattered. But there's always a silver lining in every tarot card, kind of like the Tower. Once we see the truth, which hurts, and we have to tear down our old perceptions in order to build them back up again. And then she moves on to the Four of Swords, which is that resting card. And here's her heart. It's sitting with it, letting it mend, but it is just like in the other card in the Robin Wood deck, the swords have not disappeared, and in fact they're there precariously. So once this person wakes up again, they're going to have to deal with those swords somehow. You can't just ignore them now. And you can see these 4 sharp pieces that if she moves too much, she's going to hit one of these swords. But she's getting used to her new reality. So what's heartbreaking about the 3 of Swords is that it's rock bottom. It is, you know, shit just got real. There's no more denial. There's no more illusion. We might discover something about ourselves or about a loved one that we finally have to deal with, or we realize doesn't work for us anymore. And we have to find a way to heal from that and incorporate that and maybe even take action on that. But first, it really breaks us down. We have to get broken down in order to be rebuilt stronger. So that is my take on the 3 of Swords, hashtag heartbreak. And thanks, Natalia, for making me think. Thanks, Natalia. I had to think about that. I might also hashtag this with my tarot spiral, because I didn't expect to go in depth into the 3 of Swords, and I didn't expect to have anything to say about it. But okay, so I'm off to deal with school. I have a bunch of school stuff to do today, and learning a new online system, and feel like I need a hazmat suit to go there, but whatever. So say a prayer for me. And light a candle for me as I brave the virus. Okay, thanks guys. Talk to you later.